under the table! Go!
Governments, if they endure, always tend increasingly towards aristocratic forms. No government in history has been known to evade this pattern. And as the aristocracy develops, government tends more and more to act exclusively in the interests of the ruling class. Whether that be hereditary royalty, all
What's up, gang?
financial empire.
What up, Nathan? Cousin Kangaroo, what's cracking? Rubik's Spotty, yes, what's up?
Reoccurring
Real Killer Clay, what's up?
power
Same last name, what's up?
logical personalities. It is not that power corrupts, but that it is magnetic to the corruptible. Such people have a tendency to become drunk on violence, a condition to which they are quickly addicted. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. There exists a limit to the force even the most powerful may apply without destroying themselves. Judging this limit is the true artistry of government. Misuse of power is the fatal sin. The law cannot be a tool of vengeance, never a hostage, nor fortification against the martyrs it has created. You cannot threaten any individual and escape the consequences. Good government never depends upon laws, but upon the personal qualities of those who govern. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. The machinery of government is always subordinate to the will of those who administer that machinery. The most important element of government, therefore, is the method of choosing leaders. Grant power over our affairs only to those who are reluctant to hold it. And then only under conditions that increase the reluctance. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government. Trust no government.
Trust no government. Get under the table. Get in the shelter, quick! It's raining! Oh. Hey, Mute Barbecue is smart. A, he just sent us $5. That's smart. B, I just told my kids to get under the table and they did. LMFAO. That's the right thing to do. Everyone, normally I'll be telling you to get on the table. Normally I like get up on that table and boogie, and I'm like get under that table. That's what they used to tell us at school. They were like, oh yeah, when the nukes come, get under the table. Everything will be fine. Naturally, I had questions about this, and naturally they kicked me out of the class. Consistently, Nathan Dunn, who says MAC going nuclear, ain't that the truth? Tim last name says you made the best workout/work music. You are breathtaking. How about that? Rubik's Spotty, yes, watched yesterday's this morning. I missed 3 banger streams in a row. My current life situation is so busy. I guess I prayed for this though. Exactly. You get what you asked for. Big Bad Wolf, I was at Jiu-Jitsu last night. Couldn't make the stream live, but it was fire aftershocks. Fire. Nuke emoji. A lot of use for the nuke emoji tonight. You're going to be needing that. You're going to be requiring the nuke emoji. Laura Pip, what's up? Alec Moran, what's up? Vincente, what's up? Nomadic Avengers, what's up? Cedric says, what's up? All of you, what's up? Ooh. Alec Moran says, I ended up on the stream for tomorrow. It took me 10 minutes to realize I wasn't in the right place. Oops. That's a big oops. I made tomorrow's live. You know, I was aiming at, you know, being useful. Being useful. Ooh, let me find out. Nah, I'll do that in a minute. There it is. Din, 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 din. This is an epic instrumental, huh? Look, see, we got today is Nukes. Tomorrow, do you like my new thumbnail style? Do you see how I've upgraded thumbnail style? We had a specific thumbnail style for a little while for the beginning of the new season of Meaningstream, or the new era, and they were, you know, pretty iconic and cool. Big white writing, beautiful, sexy me in the middle. And look, yesterday's we kind of went up a notch. Ooh, what's this? Background, slightly different text, bigger person in the middle. Today, look, nukes! And there's a nuke, you see, and it's got like flashy stuff. And then tomorrow, look, tomorrow's is all flashy too. What do you reckon? Do you like the new thumbnails? Are you more likely to click them? Nukes! We're playing Nukes! Today we're playing Nukes. And we'll do a bit more chit chat in a minute, but I think I should just drop some nukes. That's what the people came for. What did you come for? You came for nukes, right? Nuke the like button, you already know what to do. Akira The Don, Comic Book Girl 19, aka Danika XIX, Trust No Government from the Meaningwave LP. Don Bradley, what's up? Lyrics written 100 years ago.
Without dismay, you are smitten. You think there's no chance for you, son? Why the best books have not yet been written? The best race, it hasn't been run. The best score, it hasn't been made yet. The best song, it hasn't been sung. The best tune, it hasn't been played yet.
Cheer up, for the world is young.
No chance when the world is just eager for things that you ought to create. Its store of true wealth is still meager. Its needs are incessant and great. It yearns for more power and beauty, more laughter, more love, more romance, more loyalty, labor and duty. No chance, why there's nothing but chance for the best verse that hasn't been ranked yet. The best house that hasn't been planned. The highest peak hasn't been climbed yet. The mightiest rivers aren't spanned. Don't worry and fret, faint-hearted. The chances they have just begun. For the best jokes they haven't been started, and the best work it hasn't been done. There's no chance for you, son. Why the best books have not yet been written. The best race, it hasn't been run. The best score, it hasn't been made yet. The best song,
better world
is young. But the best house that hasn't been run yet. The best house that hasn't been planned. The highest peak hasn't been climbed yet. The mightiest rivers on the sand. Don't worry and fret, faint-hearted. The chances they have just begun. Follow the best jokes they haven't been started. And the best work it hasn't been done.
One of the things that has blown me away in the last year of working. One of the things that has blown me away in the last year, a large proportion of my audience has been young men. And Akira, I've spoken to them a lot about responsibility.
People are starving for the antidote. The antidote is truth and responsibility. Truth and responsibility. Truth and responsibility. Truth and responsibility. People are starving for the antidote. The antidote is truth and responsibility. That's the secret to meaningful life. Without the meaningful life, all you have is suffering. What's so odd about this is that of all the things that I've spoken about, because I can see the audience and I can feel how the audience is reacting, because I'm always paying attention to all of you, I get some sense of how what I'm saying is landing. What happens is if I talk about responsibilities, everyone is silent and not moving, focusing, attentive. Pick up your responsibility, pick up the heaviest thing you can and carry it. And the room goes quiet and everybody's eyes open and I think, who's making breakout? I was starving for the antidote. The antidote is truth and responsibility. Truth and responsibility.
Truth and responsibility. People are starving for the antidote.
The antidote is truth and responsibility. That's the secret to meaningful life. Without the meaningful life, all you have is suffering. I don't know why. I don't really understand it. There's something about it that's so crucial because we've been fed this unending diet of rights and freedoms, and there's something about that that's so pathologically wrong. People are starving for the antidote, and the antidote is truth and responsibility. That's the secret to a meaningful life, and without the meaningful life, all you have is suffering and nihilism and despair and all of that self-contempt, and that's not good, and it's necessary for men to stand up and take responsibility, and they all know that, and are starving for that message, and the message is more that that's also a good thing to stand up and take.
Hey, Alex Miller's Alec Moran.
You're cursed so much.
Gave 5 memberships to the people.
This notion
Splash, 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 splash.
with the world is part of what is destroying and undermining the planet and adding to the tyranny of the social system. It's like, how about not so much of that? It's too so deadly. It's anti-human right to the core. My sense instead is that if you were able to reveal the best of yourself to you in the world, that you would be an overwhelming force for good.
That's what Alec Miranda's, isn't it?
People are starving for the antidote. The antidote is truth and responsibility. Truth and responsibility. Truth and responsibility. People are starving for the antidote. The antidote is truth and responsibility. That's the secret to meaningful life. Without the meaningful life, all you have is suffering.
Nukes. Nukes. All them nuke emojis in the chat for the antidote. We got the antidote, baby. The antidote is Meaningwave. it continues. Walking more poet. Shout out to Walking More Poet, who also just swagged out the whole chat. The fact of themselves.
Akira The Don is a British musician, DJ, and producer. He's worked in genres as diverse as pop, hip-hop, indie, dance, and more recently, perhaps, something that has come to be known as Meaningwave.
I cut the speech up with the beat.
Added some crackling vinyl.
The older I get, the more I know.
Just a little I know.
Most men living one bad day away from
From being a wino.
many sing along, but how many could hit the high notes? But for the grace of God, go idle. Hello, hi, pretty fly for someone from
To such a place as I.
You might not walk, but you might fly, because we live in such a time. It's a beautiful
day to be alive.
For the big recorded human history, hear them shout.
Akira.
He's got clout. I spoke that shit into existence. Perseverance plus persistence. Don't need motivation, we've got meaning. Discipline equals freedom. It's that Meaningwave, 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 Meaningwave. I said the speech, got that shit to the beat. It was sweet and that's how I made Meaningwave. Meaningwave, 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 Meaningwave.
Combination
What up, Mike
of
Cat?
spoken word and music chosen for its emotional and
Appreciate you.
sexual appropriateness from some of my sayings and my talks. Akira has also produced similar works featuring Ellen Watts, Jocko Willink, Terrence McKenna, David Foster Wallace, and Elon Musk, among others. So, welcome, Akira. It's nice to talk to you.
Yeah.
What are you up to?
Meaningwave, 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 Meaningwave.
Yeah.
Meaningwave, 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 Meaningwave. I said the speech, got that shit to the beat. It was sweet and that's how I made Meaningwave. Meaningwave, 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 Meaningwave. Meaningwave, 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 Meaningwave.
What?
Meaningwave, 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 Meaningwave.
What?
I said the speech, got that shit to the beat. It was sweet and that's how I made Meaningwave. Meaningwave, 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 Meaningwave.
What is up, you bad motherfuckers? You welcome to the show. We're dropping nukes all night. That's all we're doing. That's pretty much all we do in general. Alright, shout out everyone out there locked in, man, like Jeff. 45 months of supporting this endeavor. Very, very powerful. So it's 45 months of Meaningwave in my life. Thank you, Akira, Don family, and Meaningwave Autonomous Zone for keeping these meaning streams going. Your music brings the world hope. Well, we could not do it without your support. Shouts out to yo! There's a sure way. There's a sure way.
It was not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation
Of things I know. Things I know.
It was not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation of
Oh, them nuke emojis.
above all else, the MENTAT must be a generalist,
Flood that chat.
not a specialist. It is wise to have decisions of great moment monitored by generalists. Experts and specialists lead you quickly into chaos. They're the source of useless nitpicking, the ferocious quibble over a comma. The MENTAT generalist, on the other hand, should bring to decision-making a healthy common sense. He must not cut himself off from the broad sweep of what is happening in his universe. He must remain capable of saying, "There's no real mystery about this at the moment. This is what we want now. It may prove wrong later, but we'll correct that when we come to it." Thinking you knew something is a sure way to blind yourself. Thinking you knew something is a sure way to blind yourself. It was not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation of things I know.
Things I know.
It was not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation of things I know. Journalists must understand that anything which we can identify as our universe is merely part of larger phenomena. But the expert looks backward. He looks into the narrow standards of his own specialty. The generalist looks outward. He looks for living principles, knowing full well that such principles change, that they develop. It is to the characteristics of change itself that the MENTAT generalist must look. There can be no permanent catalog of such change, no handbook or manual. You must look at it with as few preconceptions as possible, asking yourself, now what is this thing doing? Something is a sure way to blind yourself. Thinking you knew something is a sure way to blind yourself. It was not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation of things I know. Things I know. It was not growing up that slowly applied the brakes to learning, but an accumulation of things I know.
What is this thing doing with all those sounds and musical magicianry? Inquires Insight of the Ages. This is a good question. Do we have the answers? I was being asked about all this earlier today. I've been answering questions about this on the telly. You know. Which I believe will be on like directly after this show. I'll be on Chris Boyle's show on OAN News Network. Chris Boyle is a Meaningwave enjoyer. I believe a relatively recent Meaningwave enjoyer. He was like, yo, I was like, you've been around for a while, right? But you're like really blowing up right now. I'm seeing you everywhere. I was not aware of this, but apparently my version of If I Were the Devil has been all over the place. According to Chris Boyle, he's been seeing it all over Twitter, which is how he initially found me. And he told me it sparked a resurgence of interest in Paul Harvey's words on that matter, which is interesting. Anyway, you can watch that later. I get probed about what I'm doing. OAN is A-OK, says Jeff. Correct. Laura Pip says Chris Miles. No, and you're thinking of Chris Moyles, aren't you? Oh, Chris Boyle. B-O-Y-L-E. He's a cool cat. He looks kind of like looks like a homeboy from Brass Eye and that, like as a young man, as a very young man. He looks like 12 years old. He's very funny. His show is very funny. I was watching him tape his show. Yeah, it was a good show. Carl Diamond says, when will Doomwave be getting a Spice of Meaningwave colored vinyl? That's a good question. We're shipping the current vinyl before we think of any other vinyl. Marcus Aurelius vinyl is currently moving its way across the world, and Jocko vinyl's got to ship. Then we can concern ourselves with the vinyl. However, we do have spice infused cassettes. spice-infused cassettes. Where are they? There they are. Yeah, they're incredible. They are truly, truly beautiful things. Like, they're like golden cassettes with spice in them, and you can get those on the website. I have to keep moving this thing all the time. No, it's so complicated. Look at the spice. The spice is nice. This thing is killing me. There you go, move me. Look at that lovely spice. Meaningwave.com. Guess why? Because happiness is a side effect of meaning. Yeah, Danika wants to do Doomwave vinyl, and so keep it locked. Keep it locked. Anyway, how are you guys? How are you withstanding the nuke stuff? The nuke onslaught? Are you okay? Are you under the right sort of a table? Insight of the Ages says, great seeing you hit the podcast circuit too. Have I hit the podcast circuit? Is that I don't know. Sometimes people discover me and they hit me up and go, I would like to talk to you on my show. And then I talk to them. It's nice. It's nice. It's also nice because there's so many people who've not yet discovered Meaningwave. Isn't that crazy? I.e. most people have not yet discovered Meaningwave. You're very, very early. You guys are very, very early adopters. You're like, you're like Steve Jobs and Wozniak's like homeboys, looking at them make their first computers in the garage back in the day. What's going on with squirrels? People talking about squirrels. Is it still squirrel stuff? Walking More Poet. 40 months of Walking More Poet. By will alone, I set my mind in motion. That's what's up. We have people appreciating Alec Morand and Walking More Poet in the chat. That's very nice. See, it's not just nukes of music that get dropped in the Meaningwave Autonomous Zone. Also, nukes of generosity, nukes of kindness, nukes of righteousness, nukes of wisdom, nukes of amusingness. Also, we got all of them. We got them all. Hey, it's Amcast. How you doing, Papa? How's Papa done? Amanda says knowledge nukes as well. Yeah, don't forget those. Very Bad Wolf says nukes of love. Don't forget about those. Tom Cownan says the future's so bright we gotta wear shades. Don't forget about those. That's nice, isn't it?
Usually when you're young and you don't have any responsibility. That's when you have your options. Well, your options are severely limited the more you gather responsibilities. Like, if I had, as a 51-year-old father of 3, married man, pays taxes, has a house and a mortgage and a business and all that jazz. If I had to quit everything now and struggle the way I struggled as a stand-up comedian, it would never work. The only way I could be this person now is if I took that chance when I was 21, when I was dead broke and had my cars repossessed and all that stuff.
What? That's the only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous.
And most people want to take the safe path. The safe path leaves you stuck. Quiet desperation. Almost every time. It's hell. It's hell. You're selling insurance or some other shit that you care zero about. It's hell. It's hell. It's hell.
The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous.
Nuke! The way you can change, put aside enough.
Akira always has the sickest guitar riffs and solos. He do
have a plan, and you have to spend all your waking hours.
Consider that shit important.
Shit job you do. Planning your escape.
What?
You have to come to the realization very clearly that you fucked up. You got yourself stuck. So whatever you're doing, you have to do it like your life depends on it. And whether it is you're trying to be an author and you're working 8 hours a day plus commuting plus family responsibilities or whatever time that you have to attack like you're trying to save the world. You're trying to save your life. You don't want to drown. That 1.5 hours a day that you have to write, god damn, you better be caffeinated and motivated. You gotta go. You gotta get after it.
What you gotta do?
You gotta go. You gotta get after it.
Get after it. The only way you ever get where you want to go. You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path that's dangerous.
Yeah.
The only way you ever get where you want to go.
Nuke.
You have to take a path that's dangerous. Take a path.
Yeah. Oh, them nukes.
The only way you ever get.
Oh, them nukes.
You have to take a path that's
dangerous.
Take a path that's
dangerous.
The only way you ever
get where you want to go.
You have to take a path that's
dangerous.
Take a path that's
dangerous. The only way, Carl Diamond, is the only way. You gotta get after it. What up, Mike Kent? Do it like your life depends on it. Good point, well made. Working more poets. Shouts out to the authors making it happen. Exactly. Sergeant Sash. God damn, this bassline slaps. Yeah, dude. Only way. Get where you want to go. Take a path.
It's dangerous.
Oh!
That's most people don't have those things. Most people don't understand.
We belong to the warpath, says Amcast. That's right, bro.
And they know that the consequences of not doing that are horrific.
Nukes!
Self-defined goals. If you can teach people to stand up in the face of the things they're afraid of, they get stronger. And you don't know what the upper limits to that are, because you might ask yourself, like, if for 10 years, if you didn't avoid doing what you knew you needed to do, by your own definitions, right, within the value structure that you created.
Yeah, merry birthday to Laura Pep's mum.
What would you be like?
What would you be like? What would you be like?
What would you be like?
What would you be like?
Huh?
What would you be like?
Huh? What would you be like?
There are remarkable people who come into the world from time to time, and there are people who do find out what they could be like if they were who they were. If they spoke their being forward. And they get stronger and stronger and stronger, and we don't know the limits to that. We do not know the limits to that. And so I could say, well, in part, perhaps the reason that you're suffering unbearably can be left at your feet, because you're not everything you could be.
And you know it. And you know it. And you know it.
Because you're not everything you could be, and you know it.
And you know it. And you know it. What would you be like? What would you be like if you stopped wasting time? What would you be like? What would you be like? What would you be like if you spoke your mind?
And of course, that's a terrible thing to admit, and it's a terrible thing to consider, but there's real promise in it, right? Because it means that perhaps there's another way that you could look at the world and another way that you could act in the world. So what it would reflect back to you would be much better than what it reflects back to you now. Imagine that many people did that. We've done a lot as human beings. We've done a lot of remarkable things. And I told you already today, for example, about 250,000 people will be lifted out of abject poverty. We're lifting people out of poverty collectively at a faster rate that's ever occurred in the history of humankind by a huge margin. So there's inequality developing in many places, and you hear lots of political agitation about that. But overall, the tide is lifting everyone up, and that's a great thing. We have no idea how fast we can multiply that if people got their act together and really aimed at it. If people got their act together and really aimed at it.
What would you be like? Hey, what would you be like? What would you be like? What would you be like? What would you be like if you spoke your mind? What would you be like? 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 What would you be like?
My experience is with people that we're probably running at about 51% of our capacity. I often ask how many hours a day you waste or how many hours a week you waste. And the classic answer is something like 4 to 6 hours a day. Inefficient studying, watching things that not only do you not want to watch, that you don't even care about, that make you feel horrible about watching after you're done. That's probably 4 hours right there. Well, that's 25 hours a week. It's 100 hours a month. That's 2.5 full work. Half a year of work weeks per year. You're wasting $50,000 a year, and you are doing that right now. And so if your life isn't everything it could be, you could ask yourself, what would happen if you just stopped wasting the opportunities that are in front of you? You'd be, who knows how much more efficient, 10 times more efficient, 20 times more efficient. You have no idea how efficient people get. It's completely, it's off the charts.
What would you be like? What would you be like? What would you be like if you spoke your mind? What would you be like? 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 What would you be like if you spoke your mind? What would you be like?
Well, and if we all got our act together collectively, stop making things worse, because that's another thing people do all the time. Not only do they not do what they should to make things better, they actively attempt to make things worse because they're spiteful or arrogant or deceitful or homicidal or all of those things all bundled together in an absolutely pathological package.
Pathological package. Pathological package.
If people stop really, really trying just to make things worse, we have no idea how much better they would get just because of that. So you might say, well, what would happen if you abided by your conscience for 5 years? Or what sort of position might you be in?
What would you be like? 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 What would you be like?
boy. See, that's a nuke right there. That wasn't just a nuke, that was a nuke infused with an ultra nuke. I always wondered what those two would sound like together.
Nukes!
Oh my god. Yo, make some noise. Make some noise out there. How y'all feeling?
I want to tell you something else, and I want to make this clear. Don't just listen.
¿Por qué?
Don't just listen.
Dude!
Just listen. Don't just listen. Dude, I'm not just talking. So you know, I'm not just talking. I'm doing. And I don't want you to just listen. Put this information to work. Make today count. Every day.
Aye.
Every day.
Go!
Do. Don't just listen. Do. Don't just listen. Go forward. Get aggressive and attack. Whether it's on the battlefield or on the beat, or in the factory, or on the farm, or on the construction site, or on the website, in the garage or in the firehouse. Don't hesitate. Do. Don't just listen. Do. Don't just listen. Do. Don't just listen. Do. Don't just listen.
That's right, Chud Comstar. The best song in the world. All them Jocko emojis, all them nuke emojis. Let's get it. Do. Just listen. Do. Don't just listen. Do.
Farm or on the construction site or on the website, in the garage or in the firehouse. Don't hesitate. Farm or on the construction site or on the website, garage or in the fuss. Don't hesitate. Just listen. Don't just listen. Just listen. Just listen.
Apocalypse in the chat, that's beautiful, look at all that. Alright.
I don't care is it's dismissive. It's a loving indifference, a benevolent indifference, as Francis used to say. It's not an indifference that is cold. But awareness is not an aloof, separate witness of experience, locked up in an ivory tower of indifference. It is intimately one with all experience, so its intimacy is its loving aspect. It doesn't know the meaning of the word resistance or rejection, so it is intimately one with, and at the same time free of all experience. So it is both loving and indifferent. So it is both loving and indifferent. So it is not a cold indifference. It's a loving indifference. Loving indifference. We're speaking about awareness. Loving indifference. There is a meaning to the words true and false, right and wrong. Loving indifference. We're speaking about awareness. Loving indifference. The qualities that are inherent in our true nature. We're speaking about awareness. If we talk about mind, that's a different matter. Because mind's experience is always divided into polarities. Good and bad, right and wrong, true and false. And at the level of mind, those categories are valid. They don't pertain to consciousness. Consciousness doesn't know the difference between good and bad. There is no good and bad or right or wrong. But when consciousness assumes the form of mind, it divides itself into two, and at that level there are differences, there are distinctions, and there is a meaning to the words. Loving indifference. We're speaking about awareness. Loving indifference. There is a meaning to the words true and false, right and wrong. Loving indifference. We're speaking about awareness. Loving indifference. The qualities that are inherent in our true nature. So in terms of ethics, what is right and what is wrong? I would suggest what is right at the level of the mind is behavior that expresses the qualities that are inherent in our true nature. Another name for awareness is love. So behavior that is loving is an expression of the inherent quality of our true nature. The inherent quality of our true nature. Loving indifference. We're speaking about awareness. Loving indifference. There is a meaning to the words true and false, right and wrong. Loving indifference. We're speaking about awareness. Loving indifference. The qualities that are inherent in our true nature. Cruel or unkind, unjust, unloving behavior are behaviors that, whilst they come originally from awareness, there's nowhere else they could come from. They are filtered through the belief in separation, and as they are filtered through separation, they are perverted or distorted. So hatred, for instance, is love distorted by the sense of separation. sense of separation. So hatred, for instance, is love, or distorted by the sense of separation.
I was really, I had this great idea. I was like, oh, let me look up a Nuke soundboard, see if someone's put together a Nuke soundboard. They had, but it was very loud. Shouts out to DJ Smokey. Amanda Dan says, thank you for the support. She sent us $10. Ain't that nice? She said, this is for Laura. This is for Laura and Stu. Sending healing vibes out. Cruising you both some waves of comfort and healing. Get well soon. With love. The squirrels. The squirrels! Wow. Wow. Hey, shout out to everyone who's falling asleep to this stream. Some people do that. They send me messages. They say, I love to listen to your streams as I go to sleep. I think, what interesting dreams you must have. Something profound, something improfound, something profound. Nuke the like! That's a good point. How's the like looking? I can't see the like. Oh, that's interesting. The back end of my thing is not displaying how many likes there are. Maybe it doesn't want me to get angry. Yeah, what have you guys been slacking? This is a nuke stream and you ain't nuking the like in the manner that you should be. Nuke that like! Don't make me bring that soundboard back. I will bring back that soundboard.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Oh my goodness. Yeah! Amcast's one-day-old daughter is falling asleep. That's a good nuke!
That's a very scary situation when you are on one side of the door and your mind is racing because on the other side of that door, it could be no one. It could be 4 guys with 4 AK-47s. That door you're about to open could be booby-trapped. So once you open it, boom, your legs are gone. There's 1,000 things you think about when you're the first guy, second guy, third guy, getting ready to go in a room and flood it. And that's why I talk about the warrior mentality. And that's why so many people are lost when I start talking. You have the right. You're lucky that you don't have to think like warriors think. You're very privileged. I chose this world to be a warrior. To be a warrior. To be a warrior. I chose this world to The younger generation quits. Not everybody. So I gotta put it. People get their butt hurt. So not everybody. Most of this generation quits the second they get talked to. It's so easy to be great nowadays. Most people are weak. This is a softened generation. So if you have any mental toughness, any ability, if you have any fraction of self-discipline, the ability to not want to do it but still do it. And I hate to run. And what makes me so crazy, people go, well, why do you run if you hate it? What are you talking about? I don't want to take showers and eat either. I hate that too. That's life, man. It wasn't until I changed that mentality that I became somebody. I hated going to school, so guess what? I was dumb as shit. 1 + 1 is 2. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side
is greatness.
1 + 1 is 2. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness. On the other side is greatness. 1 + 1 is 2. But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness.
On the other side is greatness. Yo, that's that nuclear mathematic. That's that nuke maths with David Goggins and Akira The Don. Look, Alec Moran just went off. Went off again. Just splash, splash, splash. Here, have a sub, have a sub, have a sub. Generosity Nuke just dropped. Generosity Nuke just dropped in the chat. Oh my goodness. Yo, here's a question. We got to do the international high five. We ain't done that yet. We need to do that. That's where we all do a high five together. Boom. It's international high five because we're an international community. Community. Tell me where you are. Name me a nuke. Name a nuke. Where are you? Name a nuke. Jeff says, welcome to MAZ new subs. More ducks in the wave gang. Splash. Splash, nuke, splash, 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 nuke. Boom. Mowgli, Denver, Colorado with that spice. Yeah, we got that spice. Yeah, we got that spice. Jason is telling us what the song is. Have you noticed he does that? Jason's very cool. He just tells you what the song is and puts a link to where you can go stream it, download it, all that. Isn't that cool? Kindly make some noise for Jason Eva. Bill Inc., I'm looking forward to serving my community for sure. Vincente Caparini, Nuke, Ohio. Nuke, Ohio. My son's always talking about that. He's worried about Ohio. He's seen too many Ohio memes. He's concerned. Swag like Ohio. Down in Ohio. Nuking all these wave lords. Mowgli in the house, that mountain spice. Delete yourself, NJ Tanto. Keiichi the Otaku is in Tennessee, naturally. Nuke, JPP wishes. Funny you should say that. It's very interesting you should say that. Oops. Crazy. Crazy, Jeff. Indianapolis, Chris Bayday. Amcast, Virginia, Nuke, Alyssa. Oh, the local baby. Jonathan Randolph, Florida. Nuke, Florida. Tom Callahan, St. Michael, the Archangel Prayer. Nuke. Jason, Philippines, the past, present, and future Meaningwave streams are Nukes. Word around town. Amanda Dances. Wood. Jeff Catskill, New York. Not sure the name, but I swear I'll be there in the morning, baby, close to far away. Yeah, that's the song called In the Morning. Ha ha ha. Carl Diamond, El Monte, California, Nuke City one day. Ice in Terminator 2. Inside the Ages under Meaningstream. Lady Lord Nykes, me the laser beams. Rupert, Bishop Auckland. Mike Can, Triple AA, Alberta, Beefsteak Steak. Chad Comsucker, Wavy, Nuke of Lake. Mobley, Super Shredder. Alec Moran, Dundee, Michigan, aka Nuketown, population US. US. Bill Inc., Denver, give me a lever. I thought when my eyes first scanned out, I thought you were saying give me a lawyer. I was like, what you do now? What have you been doing in that hit class? Greatness will get the fuck out. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, whoa! Hot pre. Winnipeg with my kids, Jind and Jugai. Nice. Yoga Mac, I got a bop shop filled with Meaningwave juice here on the East Coast. I'm shedding Meaningwave and it's contagious. I got a bop shop.
Fight!
You know what to do. Three, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1.
Genie is the root word for genius. And it's a really interesting idea because there's this unlimited power that's associated with genius, but it's constrained. And that's really what the human spirit is like. Because it has this aspect of the infinite. And it is something that can grant wishes. But it's also constrained terribly. I don't ask God for favors. Or for wishes. Or for wishes. You know? I don't ask God for favors. Or for wishes. Or for wishes. You know? Constrained mortally and physically and all that. But the thing is that both the infinite possibility and the constraint are necessary. That's what makes up the genie. It has to be both at the same time. And the idea that, you know, if you find your genie, you can have your wishes. It's right. You have to really want what you're wishing for. Like you have to make the proper sacrifices to get it. It can't be just some whim. You have to ask for something that you would rather not have. Which is usually wisdom. Somebody asked me about prayer. They asked me if I prayed, and I thought, well, it depends what you mean by that. Exactly. I don't ask God for favors. Or for wishes. Or for wishes. You know? I don't ask God for favors. Or for wishes. For wishes. You know, but I do think that if you sit on the edge of your bed and you ask what foolish thing you're doing to make it worse, that you'll get an answer right now. And it won't be the one you want, but it might be the one that if you listen to would set things straight. I don't think that I've ever been in a situation where if something wasn't going right for me and I sat and thought, okay, I'm willing to figure out what I'm doing wrong, which is a big thing to think because you never know how much you're doing wrong. It might be something that you really don't want to contend with. But if you clear some space to meditate on that, probability that you'll figure out something that you did that was stupid, that's bending you and twisting you in the wind, you'll get an answer very, very rapidly. I don't ask God for favors. Or for wishes. know how you're manipulating your neurons or something, it happens of its own accord in some sense. Like you can participate in it, I guess, and you can interfere with it, and it seems to take a certain amount of willpower, but it still all happens mysteriously behind the scenes. And I would say this sort of attitude towards, let's say, prayer that we're discussing is just an extension of that. It's something like, well, you admit that there's a problem first, and then you ask for the minimum necessary intervention, which would be, all right, well, I'd like to move forward on this, some small amount that someone like me could actually manage. I'd be willing to carry it out. And then you reorient the way you're thinking as a consequence of that, and something usually pops out of the abyss to guide you. Very strange, but it's not really any stranger than the fact that we can think at all. Because the fact that we can think is actually very strange. Strange like the fact that we can dream is strange. And that's strange beyond belief, that you can dream, or that something in you dreams. Which is a much better way of thinking about it, because it's not like you're really in control of your dreams.
Nuke!
We become what we think about. We become what we think about. Yeah. We become what we think about. Now let me say that again. We become what we think about. Throughout all history, the great wise men and teachers, philosophers and prophets have
Oh, them nuke emojis, let's go!
different things.
Let's go!
It's only on this one point that they are
Let's go!
in unanimous agreement. Listen to what Marcus Aurelius, the great Roman emperor, said. He said, a man's life is what his thoughts make of it. A man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Disraeli said this. Everything comes if a man will only wait. I have brought myself by long meditation to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it. And that nothing can resist a will that will stake even existence for its fulfillment. We become what we think about. We become what we think about. We become what we think about. Now let me say that again. We become what we think about. Ralph Waldo Emerson said this. Man is what he thinks about all day long. William James said, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. And he also said, we need only in cold blood act as if the thing in question were real, and it will become infallibly real by growing into such a connection with our life that it will become real. It will become so knit with habit and emotion that our interest in it will be those which characterize belief. He also said this, if you only care enough for a result, you will almost certainly attain it. If you wish to be rich, you will be rich. If you wish to be learned, you will be learned. If you wish to be good, you will be good. Only you must then really wish these things, and wish them exclusively, and not wish at the same time 100 other incompatible things just as strong. We become what we think about. We become what we think about. We become what we think about. Now let me say that again. We become what we think about. In the Bible you read, in Mark 9:23, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale said this: "This is one of the greatest laws in the universe. Fervently do I wish I had discovered it as a very young man. It dawned upon me much later, and I found it to be one of the greatest, if not my greatest discovery outside of my relationship to God. And the great law, briefly and simply stated, is that if you think in negative terms, you will get negative results. If you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results. That is the simple fact, which is at the basis of an astonishing law of prosperity and success. In 3 words, believe and succeed. 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 Believe and succeed.
Akira.
There is only one way to salvation, and that is to make yourself responsible for all men's sins. As soon as you make yourself responsible in all sincerity for everything and for everyone, you will see at once that this is really so, and that you are in fact to blame for everyone and for all things.
Yesterday, I think, said something like, every man is responsible for everything that happens to him and everything that happens to everyone else. Go! Every man is responsible for everything that happens to him and everything that happens to everyone else. Every man is responsible for everything that happens to him and everything that happens to everyone else. Every man is responsible for everything that happens to him and everything that happens to everyone else. It's a crazy statement, right? It's a crazy statement, and he was a pretty extreme person in many, many ways. But there's a level at which that's metaphysically true. You know, because what happens is that it's failure to act often that's the most catastrophic. It's to not do the right thing when the situation presents itself. It's very specific. You know, you're constantly in situations where you could do the right thing if you were willing to take a risk that's actually of relatively moderate size. And you know that you can take the risk, and you know that you should take the risk, and you don't.
Okay.
Every man is responsible for everything that happens to him and everything that happens to everyone else. Every man is responsible for everything that happens to him and everything that happens to everyone else. Every man is responsible for everything that happens to him and everything that happens to everyone else. Every man is responsible for everything that happens to him and everything that happens to everyone else. What happens is the thing that they didn't oppose grows a little bit, and they shrink a little bit, and that starts a loop, hey? And so, and you say, well, how do you take responsibility for the world? And the answer is, well, you also have to do it with a certain degree of humility, because what do you know?
What do you know?
Lao Tzu, the Chinese philosopher, said, the highest virtue is not virtue, and therefore really is virtue. But inferior virtue cannot let go of being virtue, and therefore is not virtue. Translated in more of a periphrastic way, the highest virtue is not conscious of itself as virtue.
What up, Amcast?
And therefore really is virtue. The highest virtue is not conscious of itself as virtue. And therefore really is virtue. Lower virtue is so self-conscious that it's not virtue. That it's not virtue. Though a virtue is so self-conscious that it's not virtue. That it's not virtue. In other words, when you breathe, you don't congratulate yourself on being virtuous. But breathing is a great virtue. It's living. It's living. When you come out with beautiful eyes, blue or brown or green as the case may be, you don't congratulate yourself for having grown one of the most fabulous jewels on earth. So it's just eyes. And you don't account it a virtue. To entertain the miracles of color and form. You say, well, that's just... But that's real virtue. Real virtue. Real virtue. The highest virtue is not conscious of itself as virtue, and therefore really is virtue. The highest virtue is not conscious of itself as virtue, and therefore really is virtue. Though a virtue is so self-conscious that it's not virtue. That is not virtue. Though a virtue is so self-conscious that it's not virtue. That it's not virtue. Virtue in the sense, the old sense of the word, a strength. As when we talk about the healing virtue of a plant. That's real virtue. But the other virtues are stuck on. They're ersatz. They're imitation virtues. And they usually create trouble. Because more diabolical things are done in the name of righteousness. And be assured that everybody of whatever nationality or political frame of mind or religion goes to war with a sense of complete rightness. The other side is the devil. Our opponents, whether in China or Russia or Vietnam, have the same feeling of righteousness about what they're doing as we have on our side. And the plague on both houses, because, as Confucius said, the goody-goodies are the thieves of virtue. Of our own proverb. The road to hell is paved with good intention.
Goodies are the thieves of virtue. That's a nuke. I think of that very often. There's certain Meaningwave songs that I think about often. I think about that often. Big up Amcast. This beat is crazy. Shouts out to me all day long. Hey, maybe you just passed through here because you saw this on the YouTube front page. You know how YouTube really likes to support this endeavor. In which case, if you're new here, my name's Akira The Don, artist, DJ, architect of the Meaningwave universe. You know, I make all these songs that you've been listening to, every single one of them. I made all of them, you know, I played all the music, I did all the stuff, you know what I mean? I produced them, programmed drums, like played the bass lines, all that type of shit. You know what I mean? I ain't just a good hacker, you know what I mean? I get busy with the fizzy. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. It's nice to see you. In case you're wondering how it is we managed to do this, how we managed to make all this music, stream every night, work all day every day, and go to the gym and get it in. You know, support a family, all that business. Well, we have the best sponsors here on this show. The absolute best sponsors. And I only work with a sponsor that I truly believe in. And I truly believe in this sponsor, which is our only sponsor. And that is Meaningwave.com. Meaningwave.com. By Jove, it is Meaningwave.com. ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué? You know why. Because happiness is a side effect of meaning. Brand new Meaningwave enjoyer who just came here via the YouTube Discovery front page, who has no idea what we do or how we do it, but is very, very excited having just heard so many nukes. So many nukes. Like, wow, where can I find more of these nukes? Meaningwave.com. You can find all sorts of stuff at Meaningwave.com, including incredible clothing made in the USA, blogs. You can find all of our latest streams and music videos and things of that nature. Look, we got a music video out a couple of days ago. Those days with Jocko Willink. Wow, you do music videos too. Yeah, you do this, Akira The Don. Who makes these music videos for you? I do. Look, I did. I made that music video with my analog CRT rig. You know. And Skura Bipolar, of course, edited the anime aspect of it. And Jason helped with the lining up of the Jocko footage in the right places. Shouts out to Jason Eva. Yeah. Wow, look at that, it's beautiful. Anyway, Meaningwave.com has all manner of cool stuff that you might enjoy, including digital music bundles. You can actually download songs. Did you know that? Did you know if the internet goes down because a tree fell over on a power line, you could still be listening to your Meaningwave songs? Did you know that? Incredible, isn't it? Yeah, we got, what else we got? Resources. We've got a resources tab for the people who say they would like to support Meaningwave in some fashion, aware as they are that the 0.04 cents a stream that Spotify pays is probably disproportionate in comparison to the value they get from Meaningwave. So here we have PayPal, Patreon, Bitcoin, ETH, Venmo, etc. We also have, weirdly, some sample packs. Did you know that? If you're a producer, if you're a producing person, there are actually some sample packs on here. And if you're trying to find something specific, you'd always hit the type button. For example, if you're trying to find a sample pack and you couldn't find it in the navigation, you would type in sample pack, and oh look, there's some sample packs that Akira The Don made. Wow, look at those. Aren't they nice? They've got Akira The Don sounds in them. Good gosh. See that there? That's crazy. That was literally the very first ever lo-fi hip-hop sample pack. The very first one ever. When I made that, no one else had thought to do that yet. Now, of course, there's billions of lo-fi sample packs. When I made that one, and I did that, that was distributed on Loop Masters by High Rankings sample label. I temporarily considered going down the whole sample pack route, but I decided my time was better spent making songs. But we do have some sample packs anyway. Very nice they are too. Anyway, yeah, if you want to support the stream, one way you could do that is heading on over to Meaningwave.com and doing something over there. And to those of you that support Meaningwave, thank you very much. We're grateful. Meaningwave gets to exist because of you. Shazaz everyone locked in. That video is really good, says Chad Comstock, speaking of the brand new Those Days music video. Hey, Alec Morand. Is he rizzing up the chat via the method of super chat? He sent us $5 and he said, to any female in the chat. Okay. To any, what's coming after this? This is exciting. To any female in the chat that has purchased Meaningwave merch. Does the leggings/yoga pants styles run true to size? Buying some today/tomorrow. Oh, he's not rizzing up the ladies in the chat. He's trying to find out about the sizes of the yoga pants/leggings. Let him know, and if you have any specific questions about sizing and what have you, direct them towards Jason. Jason has all the answers. If he doesn't, he'll find them. He's industrious. Yeah, you know what I mean? Once upon a time, you cannot, I mean, you might not believe this, but it's true. Once upon a time, we did a bit of lore last night on the stream. If you missed last night's stream, it's got some Akira The Don Meaningwave lore. But once upon a time, didn't have all these nukes. Did not have all these nukes. You know what I mean? It was just me and no nukes. I was kind of lonely, you know what I mean? Bereft of nukes as I was. I had a couple bangers maybe. That's my dears, you know what I mean? Now, I got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them just piled around the place. There's hundreds and hundreds. I don't feel alone as I used to.
This is the story that I tell.
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 And look, I wasn't a cokehead. I have friends that are cokeheads. I mean, my coke use was probably, it was over a couple years, maybe once every few months. Maybe 3 times a year, 4 times a year. But then there was a point over about 3 weeks, or maybe 6 weeks, I don't know, where it had escalated. It was just kind of like once a week, and then it was like 2 or 3 times a week, you know? I mean, I'm pissed. Sometimes I'm like, fuck, I wish I never even got to smoke crack. You know, I don't want to be a crackhead, but fuck. You know, I'll take a hit or two just to see it, you know, what everybody's talking about. Down at the bus, down at the Greyhound, you know? But since then, you know, in this program I've learned, like, you know, I don't feel as alone as I used to. I'm learning to have different feelings about myself. Different ways to think about myself. I don't feel as alone as I used to. And it's a program of action, though. Like, I have to work and I have to, like, go to, you know, some of these meetings. And I go to the meetings, man, and it's so funny that God used, or my higher power. People say higher power, God, whatever. You know, I believe in God. I believe in God. You know, there's so much out here in, like, this business I'm in. They try to, like, make me feel like it's not cool to do that, but I'm not going to feel that way. Because I need that. You know, and the program too, that, you know, the AA, it's cool because it's not about the drugs and alcohol, man. You know, I never liked drinking. You know, I was never a pothead. I just started to see, like, oh man, if you'd asked me one day, will you go to this great opportunity you have on this radio station with one of the biggest radio shows in the world, will you go on that fucked up? I'd have said no way. And then here I was doing something that I wouldn't have done. But that's when I realized, like, I wasn't even doing things that I really wanted to be doing. I don't feel as alone as I used to. sometimes I don't even want to admit that. You know, there's something inside of me sometimes that wants to make me separate from other people, you know? There's something that wants to make me alone. Because it's part of the only way that I ever knew how to be.
Fortunes require leverage. Business leverage comes from capital, people, and products, with no marginal cost of replication.
Hey.
Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth.
Go.
Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand.
What?
Leverage is critical. We all know what leverage is when we use a seesaw or a lever. We understand how that works physically. But I think what our brains aren't really well evolved to comprehend is how much leverage is possible in modern society and what the newest forms of leverage are. The oldest form of leverage is labor, which is people working for you. So instead of me lifting rocks, I can have 10 people lift rocks. Then just by my guidance on where the rock should go, a lot more rocks get moved than I could do myself. Everybody understands this because we're evolved to understand the labor form of leverage.
Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand.
And so what happens is society overvalues labor as a form of leverage. This is why your parents are impressed when you get a promotion and you have lots of people working underneath you. This is why when a lot of naive people, when you tell them about your company, they'll say how many people work there. They'll use that as a way to establish credibility. They're trying to measure how much leverage and impact you actually have. We just automatically assume that more people is better. But I would argue that this is the worst form of leverage that you could possibly use. Managing other people is incredibly messy. It requires tremendous leadership skills. You're one short from a mutiny or getting eaten or torn apart by the mob. It's incredibly competed over. Entire civilizations have been destroyed over this fight. For example, communism, Marxism is all about the battle between capital and labor. Das Kapital, das Labor, right? So it's kind of a trap. So you really want to stay out of labor-based leverage. You want the minimum amount of people working with you that are going to allow you to use the other forms of leverage, which are much more interesting.
Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand.
Lever wave. Songs about levers. Yo, in the UK we call them levers. Did you know that? Levers. Aye.
Give me a lever long enough and die, and I will move the earth. Give me a lever long enough and die, and I will
crank that shit like Soldier Boy. Yo! We got a message from Chris Bayday. He sent us $5 to ask this question. And we got to take the sound out for this for any ladies out there. Oh no, wait, this one's for Akira. Any plans for Scott Adams' Meaningwave apparel in the future? We do have some already. And if you go to meaningwave.com and you type in Scott Adams, you will find these. You will find t-shirts with the artwork from the releases. So here we have the Feels Like It Works tee. Sometimes we have to press enter to reload. So here you go, it says the Feels Like It Works tee. There you go, with the lovely artwork there. Very nice. And there was the user interface for reality one as well. If it doesn't load the picture, press present, it will come up. There you go, with the lovely artwork from the user interface for reality. The user interface for reality. It feels like it works. Feels like it works. The interface for reality. Feels like it works. I think we could do with the t-shirt that just says feels like it works on it. Do we have one? I don't know if we do. I don't think we do. And of course there's the All Scott Adams bundle. You might want to grab hold of that. And there's the Persuasive Beats poster, the Basket Case Theory poster. So we got a few things. But yeah, we could maybe do with some more. But let me just check. Typing under the table is tricky. Feels. Maybe I had a dream. I thought I had a dream where I had a t-shirt that says feels. No, fuck. Hey Jason, do me a favor. Remind me I need to make a Feels Like It Works t-shirt. I want one for myself that just says Feels Like It Works. Maybe it should say Meaningwave on it. Feels like it works. What do you guys think? Yeah. I love her long enough. Feels like it works. User interface for reality.
Akira. The Don. He's got clout. Akira. The Don. He's got clout. Akira. The Don. He's got clout.
These are the buttons for the user interface. These are the buttons for the user interface. First, you must accept the frame, at least as a filter. You should accept that systems work better than goals. Systems work better than goals. Talent stacking, affirmations, the mating instinct, fear, curiosity, novelty, contrast, repetition and simplicity, repetition and simplicity, repetition and simplicity, repetition and simplicity, the fake because, pacing, leading, aspiration, association, pattern recognition, visualization, pattern recognition, visualization. These are the buttons for the user interface. These are the buttons for the user interface. First, you must accept the frame, at least as a filter. You should accept that systems work better than goals. Systems work better than goals. Talent stacking, affirmations, the mating instinct, fear, curiosity, novelty, contrast, repetition and simplicity, repetition and simplicity, repetition and simplicity, repetition and simplicity, the fake because, pacing, leading, aspiration, association, pattern recognition, visualization, pattern recognition, visualization. These are the buttons for the user interface. These are the buttons for the user interface. These are the buttons for the user interface. These
the buttons for the user interface.
But why would I put my job on the line to have an opinion? I know why. Because the ability to speak your truth is the bulwark against hell. And losing your job? That's nothing. That's nothing compared to where things can go when they go badly. For me, it was just preventative. It's like, this isn't going in a good direction. Well, should you take a risk? It's like, you don't have that choice. You're silent? That's a risk. Now, most people don't understand the risks of silence. I happen to understand the risks of silence because I've been studying them for 40 years. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I am not saying your words. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I am not saying your words. I know where corruption of speech leads. And I'm not going there. And you know, one of the things I tried to learn when I was taking apart what happened in Auschwitz and trying to put myself in the position of an Auschwitz camp guard, which, by the way, you can do if you use your imagination a bit. I wouldn't call it exactly the world's most pleasant meditative experience. You can conjure that part of yourself up if you want. Nukes! And that'll teach you something about what you're like. People don't do it because it's too frightening. But I know perfectly well that I could do that sort of thing. And so once I learned that I could do that sort of thing, and maybe that I could even enjoy it, I thought, okay, fine, I get it. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to live so that if that opportunity was presented to me, I wouldn't take it. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I am not saying your words. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I am not saying your words. And I think that's the lesson that people need to learn from the 20th century. That's what human beings did, okay? Well, we're all human, okay? So how is it that we should live so that we don't do that again? Well, part of that is to try to say the truth. Part of that is to try to say the truth. No matter what. No matter what. Because the alternative is worse. And it is worse. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I'm not saying your words. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I am not saying your words. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I'm not saying your words. It's my language. I'll take responsibility for what I say. I'm not saying your words. Conceptualizing yourself is that you're one speck of dust among 7 billion. And when you conceptualize yourself that way, you might think, well, what difference does it make what I say or do? And that's actually quite convenient for you, because if it doesn't matter what you say or do, then you don't have any responsibility and you can do whatever you want. The price you pay for that is a bit of nihilism, but if you don't have to shoulder any responsibility, that's a small price to pay. The other way of looking at it, and this is actually the accurate way of
don't lie. That's a start. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Freedom of speech means you are pro speech for which you do not believe in. Otherwise, there's no point at all, says Alec Moran. Which is obvious. Absolutely obvious. I knew the rot was in. I remember it was around 2012. It's when there was still that kind of lunchroom on Twitter of sort of journalists and people who created this new kind of cool kid culture. But it was right at the end, and things had started to infest right at the end of 2012 when they opened up that portal. And some of the lunchroom sort of British journalisty type people who I knew at the time were suddenly trying to get somebody unplatformed because they didn't like something they said. Very early intimation of what's happening now. I said, I thought you believed in free speech to this person who I used to be sort of friends with. They said, yeah, but not for that. I said, well, either you believe in free speech completely or you don't. It's really simple. There is no like grey area in free speech. It's either free or it isn't. And they got very upset with me, all those lunchroom people. It was an early intonation of things to come. Very strange. Or at least don't lie. Nuke emojis in the chat.
Now, in order to speak what you might regard as the truth, you have to let go of the outcome. You have to think, I'm going to say what I think. Stupid as I am, biased as I am, ignorant as I am, I'm going to state what I think as clearly as I can, and I'm going to live with the consequences no matter what they are. Now, the reason you think that's an element of faith. The idea is that nothing brings a better world into being than the stated truth. Now, you might have to pay a price for that, but that's fine. You're going to pay a price for every bloody thing you do and everything you don't do. You don't get to choose to not pay a price. You get to choose which poison you're going to take. That's it. So if you're going to stand up for something, stand up for your truth. It'll shape you because people will respond and object and tell you why you're a fool and a biased moron, why you're ignorant. And then if you listen to them, you'll be just that much less like that the next time you say something. And if you do that for 5 years, you'll be so damn tough and articulate and able to communicate and withstand pressure that you won't even recognize yourself. And then you'll be a force to contend with.
Tell the truth. 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 Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Tell the truth. 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 Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. That's a start.
Almost impossible to provide people with enough protection so that they feel safe to speak. Okay, so we'll address that directly. It is not safe to speak, and it never will be. The thing you gotta keep in mind is that it's even less safe not to speak. Right? It's a balance of risk. You wanna pay the price for being who you are, stating your mode of being in the world, or do you wanna pay the price for being a bloody serf? A one that's enslaved him or herself. Well, that's a major price, man. That thing unfolds over decades, and you'll just be a miserable worm at the end of about 20 years of that. No self-respect, no power, no ability to voice your opinions, nothing left but resentment because everyone's against you. It's like saying what you think carefully. Pay attention to your words. Say what you think carefully. Pay attention to your words. Here's the price you want to pay if you're willing to believe that truth is the cornerstone of society. In the most real sense. You're willing to take that leap. Then tell the truth and see what happens. Tell the truth. 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 Or at least
Nukes for Paul Harvey.
Well, that's probably true.
Hey.
If we're talking about a secular sermon on
What the fuck does that mean?
hard work.
Hey.
Akira, the pregnant skyline of America was set in place one brick at a time. Now that represents a lot of calluses. America the Beautiful is not an accomplished fact guaranteed to remain intact. God shed His grace on thee, to be sure, but this was wasteland when God had it to Himself. He handed man a hoe and said, "You want another Eden? All right, earn it." And all that's necessary for the weeds to take over again is for you and me to lay down that hoe.
Yeah. Come on.
Work. 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 Hard work. There is no gospel less popular than the gospel of hard work. 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 Hard work. There is no gospel less popular. Get to work. Get to work. We tell our young people how our country was carved out of the wilderness. No, it wasn't. Our nation was hammered and hoed and chopped and dug, sawed and clawed out of the wilderness by barehanded men who asked nothing for nothing. America did not start out with an agricultural production of the awe and envy of the world. It was seeded first by sod-busting farmers who fought Indians and ranchers and cold and heat and drought and bugs and flood and one another. The plain sprang forth from barren acres only after they had been watered with a lot of sweat.
Oh!
Work.
Oh!
Work.
Hard work.
There is no gospel less popular
than the gospel of hard work.
Work.
Oh!
Work.
Oh!
Work.
Oh!
Hard work.
Oh!
There is no gospel less popular.
Get to work.
Get to work. I guess what I'm saying is that the more history I study, ours and others, the more certain I am that there is one fertilizer essential.
Yo, that was that, baby. Nukes! We nuked so hard, camera one just fucking died. Yeah! Camera one, baby, what happened to you? Why did you do... Look at the... Just blackness. Camera two's okay. What's up, camera two? Camera one just gone, baby. Look at that. Look at those absences. We nuked that. I gotta stop naming my streams things that don't cause problems. I gotta name a stream wealth. Problem-free stream. Wealth. Hey, Mowgli. 5 months of Mowgli, imagine that. Just bought a JBP hoodie and joggers. You king. What a king you are. Oh, and look, hang on. Has it started? The internet's all fucking up as well now? Wow, we made it through. We made it 2 hours. That's pretty good. We made it 2 hours. Oh, now it's saying excellent connection again. After saying something about keyframes. Yo, I mean, anyway, we did it. We're here. R.I.P. Cameron 1, exactly. Let's see what the chat's saying. Rolling over to the chat. We've got a lot of nukes in the chat, and that's nice, isn't it? Hard work is all I know. Sorry, said Big Bad Wolf. What are you apologizing for? What are you apologizing for? Chad says, this is fire. Chad ain't wrong. Laura Pip says, boom. Nightbot says, subscribe to Akira The Don on Patreon for downloads of the mixes and other special perks. That's true. Alec Moran says, let's get it! Yeah, you beautiful things. Debo says, it deserved nuke banging that camera one. It's always had an attitude. So, camera one has been nothing but, like, good. Camera one has served us so well, so faithfully. He's just strung up there from the ceiling on the other side of the room. It just hangs out there. It takes the thumbnail pictures. It gives us the main size thing. It did not like me zooming. I clicked the zoom button and it just died. Anyway, it's fine. Mowgli says who's going to carry the boats? Exactly. Anyway, hey, we had Nukes. That was our Nuke stream. Thank you for being here for our Nuke stream. That was fun. I could do that all day. That was just, you know what I mean, just a scraping of the surface of the Meaningwave Nuke iceberg. Come on. And I suppose, you know, we never even went into a definition of what a nuke is. I didn't even mention the fact that a certain kind of record, I tag it with nuke in my DJ library. I always have. This is something I've been doing for 15 years or so. A certain kind of record, that's a nuke. And that means something to me, you know what I mean? This a nuke right here. Like, this is just a nuke. Hey! Hey! Anyway, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being under the table while the bombardment was occurring, you know what I mean? We'll be back mañana. Mañana is Friday, that means it's P-A-R-T-Y. That's what that means, it's P-A-R-T-Y. Up in here. And those of you that know. Those of you that don't know, you're gonna know. Last week's stream is still not on YouTube. I have no idea why. But an uncensored, unmolested version of it is on Patreon and is on the channel members thing. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain stream. Blah 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 blah. Well, we made it through, but just before all the nonsense began, so boom! Boom! Thank you for being here. We'll be back tomorrow. Kick the like in the dick on your way out. Leave a comment. Go to meaningwave.com. And, you know, be excellent to one another. Hasta luego, babies.